Right, guys, welcome back to All for United. This is Today at Man United. Today I have got Mark and Gary. How are you guys?
Very well, thank you very much. Very well.
On this fine Tuesday morning, I hope you're all having a lovely, lovely morning. We are looking ahead to tonight's game, Luton Town against Manchester United in the Carabao Cup third round. Lads, are we even bothered about this game?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to win. We need to win. We need to get a win under our belt. Luton are going into fine form apparently. I think they played 4 unbeaten in 4, something like that. The form team, but we just don't want another repeat of an MK Dons result. That's what we don't want.
No, that's very true.
You make a good point.
Fully agree with that. I said earlier that whilst it's no disrespect to them, it's a bit of a nothing game. It's something that we're expected to win, but I think obviously, as you're already aware, we're very unfit at the moment. We're lacking a lot of confidence. I know it's only been one game, but you can see, everybody can change their tune very quickly and go from extremely positive to being extremely negative. And I think that today, just for confidence, I think there are a number of players. I mentioned earlier, Rashford. I think he needs to go in and hopefully get 1 or 2 goals and just boost his confidence a little bit. So I think it is an important game just to try and bring back some sort of belief again and get a good scoreline.
Well, you mentioned confidence and you mentioned the fact that we need to kind of use this game almost to build fitness. But another point I wanted to make was the Carabao Cup, of course, is the first available trophy to any team in the season. Now, the question I want to ask, I'll start with Gary for this one. The Carabao Cup, since it's the first available trophy, how important is this trophy for Ole to keep his job?
He needs to win the trophy 100%, and this is probably I wouldn't say it's the easiest trophy to win because there's a lot of teams obviously that go out early, but there's so many big clubs in it. But this is probably the only bit of silverware I'd say Ole's got a chance of winning, and he does need to win a bit of silverware this season, I think. So I think this is the only chance. Maybe the FA Cup, but the Carabao Cup isn't a really good chance.
Well, we'll go on. Add to that, Mark. Then, but is this as vital as we think it is, or do you think it's going to be more based on the league performance?
I think after the season he had, we obviously got to 3 semi-finals and came third, which I don't think anybody expected. I think that you want to build upon that. I think that as Gary said, we need to show that we're sort of determined and we are still a big club and, win as many games and as trophies as possible. And if he loses tonight, then that would be awful. And I think very much pressure would build up very quickly for him. So we need to get through these. We need to get to at least the semi-final. We need to get to the final and we need to win a cup. And as has been pointed out, this would be the perfect opportunity to try and achieve that.
Well, you've mentioned a bit of mentality. You've got the comment already. We play every game to win, and ideally, that's what we want.
Yeah.
I think it's not as vital as the job is on the line for this trophy. I think definitely it helps him. It helps him keep his job. I think it definitely adds to his achievements already. Because at the minute we're sort of on this transition, and we're saying, well, look what he's done. Look what he's developed. Look what he's built up from Mourinho's sacking. But we don't really have anything tangible to show for it, and I think a trophy would definitely help him. I think it'll just solidify it a little bit more.
Yeah,
and obviously go on.
Just to add to it, really, I think the team that we've got haven't really got a winning mentality yet, and unfortunately we've lost in 3 semi-finals, and I think just as added to what I've said earlier. Just for the sake of Ole and his confidence and his CV, and just for the sake of the players, to bring some sort of winning mentality back. And I think that by getting a trophy, that automatically propels you to the step above, really.
Yeah, definitely. Winning games, winning trophies does get you that. But Gary, just to add on to that winning mentality point, do you think that's also something you can bring in with transfers? And do you think that's something that maybe United have neglected?
I think Ole winning the trophy as manager at United, winning his first trophy will help with the transfers. But having said that, whoever manages the side, you should be wanting to join United for the basis of the club, the name and what it stands for. But I agree, you know, he needs to win a trophy, and winning the Carabao Cup would be that stepping stone. But having, you know, bringing in players, you should be coming on the basis of the name of the club and what it stands for and the size of the club. You know, some players come for mercenaries, just want to come for the money. We've had that in the past with Sanchez, you know, but at the end of the day, it's all about the name. It should always still be about the name of the club for me.
Agreed. I think a winning mentality, definitely. You can either bring it in with transfers with different players, or you can establish a winning mentality by winning trophies. Now, seeing as United clearly don't want to back the manager and sign players, we're going to have to win some trophies ourselves to the best of our ability. And definitely, I think the Carabao Cup is a very realistic trophy for us. Moving on then, as we're coming on to this game, following the Palace result, how important is it, Mark, I'll go to you, how important is it to bounce back from that result?
Yeah, as I mentioned a moment ago, it was an awful result of the weekend. We look lethargic, unfit. We need to, this is as always, when you've lost a game, this is the perfect opportunity to bounce back. And we need to take ourselves out of that negative frame of mind and move on quickly. We need to start. I know I said the other night, obviously, one of our biggest problems is starting a game well. Now, the difference is between now and the beginning of last season and post-lockdown, we still started slow in those the games post-lockdown, but we looked a lot more in control. And I think that tonight, you know, playing the team that we are, maybe having the opportunity to change it up a little bit, which I think Oles already said he's going to do. We need to start quickly. We need to start in control. We need to get in a goal early, and we need to, get to 60 minutes, be 3-4 up. And I know that's, that's the sort of mentality we should have, and that's the sort of scoreline we should be looking for. And then, at 60 minutes or so, then take those players off and give them a rest again. So, but yeah, we need to bounce back and get to grips and control things as quickly as we can.
Good points there. Gary, anything to add? Surely, even United can't mess this up.
Luton will really make a game of it. They really will have a go at us. I mean, they're the home side. I mean, of course, they haven't got the fans behind them, which would have added to it. But we've, as Mark said, we've always started slowly, but sometimes we've started well in games for the first 20 minutes, but we've not capitalised on it, and we've gone on to lose the game. So it's one of those 50-50 games tonight. We just, like I said, Luton are the form team at the moment in their division, and they're going to give it everything, and we just need to be ready.
What do you both think in terms of if God forbid the worst happened and we didn't win this game? What do you think would happen to Oles? Do you think his job would be under threat?
No, I don't think so. I think obviously the media will stir that. Fans will get on his back. There'll be a lot of the Ollie out movement, but I don't believe so. I think it would be ridiculous to do that so early. I think the pressure will be on him, but I think the board know. I think he probably feels pretty comfortable where he is. But if he loses, God forbid, as you say, I don't think that will affect his job. At least I hope not. But certainly the pressure will be on him.
It'll fill the back pages, won't it? Big time.
Yeah.
100%. The social media backlash would be ridiculous. I mean, you saw after Palace, it's been one game and they're already, calling for his head. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. We're going to go into the lineup predictions in a minute, but I want to talk about the lineup that we've put out against Palace. Do you think that was some kind of a statement? Because we saw Wan-Bissaka dropped. Now, whether that was because of fitness, I don't know. But it seemed like a really strange one. We started with Daniel James, which, again, seemed like a strange one to me. Was that almost a sign from him to the board saying, I want another fullback, I want another winger? Do you think he was trying to send a message there, Gary?
No, I just think he was playing with players than the others. Dan James was a strange one, if I'm honest. But I think he was I don't think he was showing the ball, because I don't think the board, well, particularly the Glazers, are football people anyway. We've established that. Even Ed Woodward, all he does is just do his commercial deals, and that's it. But I don't think it was a signal to the board. I mean, he knows, he's already told Ed who he needs, who he wants. That's another thing.
Right.
I just think he played with the players he thought were the fitter than the others at the time during training.
Gary, sorry to stop you. I think your internet's just playing up a little bit. I'll go to Mark while you sort that out. Mark, what do you reckon? Do you reckon it was a sort of statement he made there, or do you reckon it was just squad selection?
I think it's very difficult to know this. We had this discussion actually last night, and I'd like to think he has a bit about him, and perhaps I think he, as already been said, he's had these discussions with Ed. They firmly know exactly who he wants, and I'd like to think that maybe that was part of it. Now, after reading the last few days, I do know that Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Matic are all, weren't match fit, weren't 100% fit, and maybe they could feature tonight, and the same with Greenwood as well. But I think that, unfortunately, whilst Dan James, I think he gets a lot of stick. He came in last season very young, not expecting to play every game, and that's what he has done. So he's had a real opportunity there, and he's got a lot to develop on. But unfortunately, with even though he has got a lot to develop on, he's the only replacement right winger we've got, or left winger we've got. So when Mason isn't 100% fit, and obviously he's gone through all the crap that he has this summer, who else do you put on? Who else do you put on? So I think it's probably a bit of 50-50 really. I think that he maybe was showing something to the board. We're never going to know. But I think that that was his team selection, and perhaps it wasn't the right one, but we don't know the true ins and outs. And I think that there are probably a lot of players that are unmatched, not 100% fit, and fans are going to dislike that. But again, we're not managers, we're not trainers, we don't fully understand.
No.
Yeah, I'd like to think that it was just squad fitness, squad management, but something does tell me that you might have had some kind of a message. I find it interesting. What did you guys make of Luke Shaw's comments after the game?
Bit of a strange one, that. He should just let his football do the talking, don't get involved in all that. He shouldn't be saying things like that. Because at the end of the day, his position could be up for grabs anyway if we get Telles. So he shouldn't really be saying anything. I mean, he's been injured a number of times. Just, he shouldn't be getting involved. It's not for him to say, is it? Not really.
So I'm not sure if I fully agree with that. I understand that he needs to do a lot more on the pitch, and he needs to sort of prove his wage and his worth and all this. But actually, if players can see that it's causing disruption and negativity, then why not? We saw Patrice Evra come out and say the same thing yesterday. Perhaps it will be, they've got a higher ceiling and a bigger springboard than we have. So whilst we can, in the millions, get on to Man United Twitter and all this and go nuts, if someone like that, who's going to be in the limelight and is obviously close to the board and that sort of thing, if they feel frustrated with it, and it's like anyway, if you're not happy in your own work, you'll probably say something to your manager or someone like that. And I feel that's absolutely necessary as well. And why not? He's going to be listened to far more than we are.
I suppose, getting back to that, didn't Rooney used to say that when Ferguson was there?
Yeah.
And he wasn't going to sign a new contract if we didn't bring in the high world-class players. I do think it held the club to ransom a little bit there, but that's obviously all in the past now. But Luke Shaw's not going to be the sort of person to say the same thing. I'm not signing a new contract if we don't get world-class players in, because his performances have been on and off in parts, and he's been injured,
Yeah, well, that's his own thing. Obviously, that's the risk that he's taking. But I feel that if any one of those players were unhappy with the negativity and so forth, then say it. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, there's a time and a place. You have to pick your battles, and it's probably better to say it to them face to face. But if nothing's getting done, and he has already said this, or someone else has already said this, then coming out in an interview and saying that is fine by me. Absolutely fine.
Thing is, if one player says it, then another, then it's even more of an issue, isn't it?
It's one of them. I'm not the biggest fan of Luke Shaw, as we all know. I won't get into that too much. But he did impress me with that kind of comment, because it's very rare you see players comment about that thing. So I was quite impressed. Let's get into lineup predictions then. Everyone in the comments, make sure you're first liking the video, because why not? It's a nice thing to do. It wastes about 2 seconds of your time. Do it now. Like the video. And then get your comments in below. Who do you think Ole goes for against Luton? Does he rotate? Does he go full strength? Obviously, the guys have touched on the fact that we need to build up some match fitness? And will this then affect our lineup? Because I personally think you might have to rotate it. I don't know. I might be chatting a bit of shit. Let's go to Gary first. What kind of team can we expect from Ollie?
I think I discussed on Sunday. I'd like to play a fairly full strength side because I think obviously it showed on Saturday night that fitness was the issue and game time, lack of match fitness, sharpness. So I think we should be playing building a strong team from the start. I get you're going to play some younger players, but we really need to get this game put to bed after 50 to 60 minutes, 2 or 3-0. That's what I already said, and then maybe bringing some of the other players off and bring the other ones on. I just think it's an important game. I think it's a cup competition that, like I said, Ollie could win.
Mark, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement. I think this is an opportunity for the boys to get match fitness, and by doing that, they need to be playing. I also think actually that they may need to. I think it could be an opportunity for one player in particular to really show that he could be ready for the first team, and I'll go into that a little bit more later, I think. And maybe it might give us an option to play alongside someone else in the team. So yeah, I agree with that. I think that match fitness is important. Get all the first team players in. They need to have a run of games. They need to get up to speed, and then maybe at 60 minutes, or if we're doing well, bring on a couple of players just because. And yeah, well, as I said, we'll go into that in a bit more detail, I think.
Yeah, the comments seem to be agreeing with you. We've got a comment here that says we should have strongest team against Luton to give United fans the boost needed for first win of the season. And you know what? It makes sense because we do need a first win because if you think about it, we've not yet won a game this season. We've not even won a game in pre-season because we lost against Villa. So we really do need to get a win. What did I miss? Well, we discussed sort of the team selection. We sort of discussed what happened against Palace. And we discussed the importance of the Carabao Cup. So you've missed a fair bit, but I'm sure
you'll be able to rewatch later.
Yeah. Right, we'll get into predicted 11s then. So I'm going to throw a name out into the mix, and I know Mark was alluding to him before, so I will go to him once I've said his name. In my predicted 11, I have got Mengi to start. Now I think this boy is probably ready to be our backup centre back now because we're trying to get rid of Marcus Rojo. Trying to get rid of Phil Jones. We're going to get rid of Chris Smalling. And Eric Bailly is probably our most consistent player. He's consistently injured, and that's what makes him inconsistent. So I think Mengi, there's a slot for him there. I'm worried about Axel Tuanzebe's future. I think Mengi might just have overtaken him at this point. Mark, you wanted to talk about him. I'll give you the stage.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to. Well done. I think it's a difficult one for me who I'd play him alongside, but I think this is a massive opportunity for him to come in and show what he's all about. We've heard about his power. We've heard about his mentality. We've heard about his speed, which is something that needs to be implemented in order to accommodate Harry Maguire or Lindelof. I think it's a perfect opportunity. I would be very, very surprised if Ollie didn't include him tonight.
Yeah, I think it's a big chance for him to show what he's about. Obviously, traditionally in the Carabao Cup, United give opportunities to the younger players. Gary, we were talking about this off air, and you said that we probably won't expect him. Why do you think he shouldn't start?
I think Ollie will go safe at the back. I mean, I know we weren't safe at the back on Saturday, but I think the only thing he probably won't do is play Lindelof and put Bailly there. I know you obviously said he's up and down, but I think he'll play Bailly with Maguire. Maguire will definitely start. He's the captain. He played virtually every game last season. So I think he will be playing anyway, regardless. You can't not play Maguire if you're going to play Mengi and Bailly. The partnership's just... He'll be on the bench, Mengi, I think. He'll definitely be on the bench, but I think he'll just go a bit safe and he'll probably start with Bailly. That's my opinion. Fair
enough. Interesting thought. We've spoken about Mengi. Do you think any other youngsters might feature on the bench?
Trying to think. Who else we got? Is it Baird?
Laird's injured, I think.
Ethan Laird. Back. I think he is injured. He got injured in his last match, didn't he, or in pre-season. I think another one could be Hannibal Medjber, is it?
Big show.
From Ajax. I've seen a lot about him from youth comments on Twitter. And I think Nicky Butt's spoken about him as well. He looks very, very good. You can tell that he's it was in Monaco or Ajax. I can't remember. Ajax. I can't remember. He looks. Monaco. Yeah, Monaco. He was very, very highly rated. And as we've seen over the past couple of seasons, Nicky Butt has done a phenomenal job. Has seemed to bring in the right players and has got in very quickly when these types of young players are available. And I think, again, I don't think he will start. Absolutely not. But I think that he would be a good thing to have on the bench. And if we are 2, 3, 4 up at 60 minutes, which is what we should be, then bring him on. And by all accounts, he's been a phenomenal young talent since coming in.
I think Hannibal's a big shout. I just think it might be a little too soon, as I've just seen a comment that agrees with me there. I think it might just be a little too soon for Hannibal. I think we will see him towards the end of the season, possibly in the FA Cup. But I'm happy to be proved wrong. I think I'd love to see him in the first team, but it might just be a bit too soon. I think another couple of names that we should throw in the mix are Elanga. Obviously, he won an individual award. He is being recognised at the club. I think he's been there for a couple of seasons now. I think it might be time for him to get a chance.
Was he won the award for the under-23s? Was that?
Yeah,
it was?
that's the one.
I know you mean.
Yeah. He's very talented. I think he might be worth a go. I've just seen a name here. I'm going to bring this up. Predicted 11 here. Do you see the name I'm thinking of here?
Galbraith.
Yeah, that might be a big shout. We've completely forgotten about him. Of course, he featured against Aston Villa, didn't he? Did either of you watch that game properly? What did you make of Ethan Galbraith?
I didn't see it.
I watched some highlights, but I didn't get too invested in that at the time. I think I was more focused on the beginning of the Premier League. So
he's a tiny player, Ethan. I do rate him, but I don't know if he'll start the game. That's a big shout to say he'll start. Let's go through our predicted 11s then. So we'll go to Gary first. Give us your 11.
So I'm going to go Wan-Bissaka.
Yep. Hang on a minute, who's in goal?
Oh, sorry, Henderson, obviously.
Okay.
Definitely Henderson. I think Henderson needs to get a shout today.
Yeah.
So Henderson, Wan-Bissaka, Bailly, Maguire. I'm not sure on left back whether it's going to be Williams or Shaw, to be honest. It's going to be one of them two. And I think in the midfield it's going to be Matic. I mean, I'm brave here, but I think we just need to go a bit stronger in this game. So we're going to Matic. Matto, which you mentioned earlier, was probably not a bad shout. And then possibly Van der Beek and Rashford, Martial. How many have I got? I've missed out some more.
You've got your right winger to go.
Right winger. Well, I think that would be. I'll put Matto at right wing. That's
okay.
Matto. So we've got midfield. Have I missed? I've got Van der Beek.
You've got Van der Beek and Matic.
Possibly Pogba would be on the bench, and I'm thinking maybe Bruno in there.
Bruno, so he's got pretty strong there.
Yeah.
Mark, have you gone similar or have you got any changes?
Yeah, a little bit different. Obviously, Henderson, I think Ollie confirmed yesterday he's pretty much guaranteed to start. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, if he needs match fitness, definitely at right back when he's getting involved. Now, I have said Mengi as centre back, but I'm not entirely sure who he partners. I've actually, in my preview that I wrote about, I did say Harry, but it could well be Bailly. At left back, toss up between Shaw and Williams, but I've said Shaw. I would then play Fred and Matic as holding midfielders, and I'd play Van der Beek in front. And then now that you throw Mata into the mix, I always forget about that man. And I had said originally Mason on the right, but perhaps Mata. But I would go with Mason, I think. Rashford on the left, he needs to start. He needs confidence. He needs a bit of match fitness. And I think Martial or Igalo, but I think probably Martial. I think we're going to feel quite a strong team tonight and we need to bounce back. So,
do you think Greenwood would be good up the top as a striker?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've said this in a previous show. I think that Mason would be the like-for-like replacement, really. I think he should be given an opportunity as number 9.
Yeah.
If we are to get in someone like Sancho, then perhaps that's what will happen more often. But we'll have to, Sancho or someone else, whatever. I think that's what will happen more often. He is a good winger. He is quick, but I think he is a little bit wasted because he won't have so many opportunities. And I think he could be a real good poacher in the 18-yard box.
Yeah, you've got a big shout there with Mason going in front, because last season I think he outperformed his expected goals by about 6 goals or something. So imagine if he's having that kind of chance up front, so he could score bags of goals. In my team, then I'll go for my team, and I've got the comment already. In goal, I've got Dean Henderson. Right back, I've gone for Wan-Bissaka. I've gone for Maguire and Mengi. I think if Mengi is going to start, he's going to need some experience alongside him. I don't think he'll start him alongside Eric, but I think Barry might actually be injured, is he not? I can't remember.
No, he's back. I think the only doubts we have are Twanzebe with a foot injury and Phil Jones with knee injury.
Jones, right.
Everyone else is just match fitness.
Barry will probably get injured after the game anyway, so there you go.
Yeah.
Or during. At left back, I've gone for Brandon Williams because I never predict Luke Shaw to start. So there's your answer for that. My midfield is Matic. Let me get my notes back up. Who have we got? Matic, Fred, and Van der Beek. I think Van der Beek has to start because, quite simply, he needs match fitness. He needs to get ready. Matic definitely needs to get a game. Fred, I think he is the rotation player now, so I assume he'll go straight into that midfield. I've changed my mind last minute. I did have Greenwood on the right. I've gone for Mata because I spoke about it off air. I said, you know what, I've completely forgotten about Juan Mata. So let's get him in there.
I did the same.
Mata on the right, Rashford on the left, Nigolo down the middle. I think he's going to go for a little mix. And then we'll bring on some of the first team players off the bench, I reckon. I think Pogba will come on for like 10 minutes or so just to get maybe Bruno or something like that.
Do we think Dan James, if he's not featured in the team tonight, that means he's going to be loaned out or sold to Leeds? Because he's been heavily linked with them, isn't he? You know,
I don't know. The Leeds link is an interesting one. I haven't looked too much into the story, so I don't know how reliable the links are. But if he is, I don't know if that would be the right thing to do for us because we haven't signed a winger yet, so we can't be selling our only proper winger.
Yeah,
so we have to keep him.
I think we would be incredibly stupid to sell him and only loan him if we have got a replacement. If it's going to go towards funds to dare I say it, Sancho or someone else, Sarr, then yeah, absolutely. But I think we'd be silly to sell him. Loan at the very, very max.
While we're on the topic of right wing, we cannot go a day without speaking about Jadon Sancho. I've just seen quite a strange comment. Signing Sancho would be unfair for him. He won't have a Haaland-type finisher to complement his passes and crossing. First we get clinical finisher and then get Sancho. Are we not aware of how many goals Martial, Rashford and Greenwood scored last season?
He's got to be a troll. I'm sorry.
Surely not a serious
that's a Liverpool fan.
I can't have that. If he has not seen Rashford or Martial or Greenwood, all very prolific, especially last season, and I'm sorry you've not watched them enough. That's
a very strange comment. We've all predicted Mata to go right wing. I've just got a comment here that says Mata is a 10. He's very less effective on the wings, and I have to say I agree. But that's just where he fits in the team. Isn't it?
Yeah. I agree with you.
You just can't really say anything else about it. Let's get some score predictions then. In the comments, let us know what you think the score is going to be. Gary, what are you saying for score then, and who's going to score?
I'm going to say Luton to get an early goal, and then we're going to win.
Oh, bloody hell.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad I'm not watching it at your house.
Who's scoring our 3 goals then?
Sorry?
Who's scoring our 3?
Our 3 goals, I'm going to go with my prediction, I'm going to say Mata's going to score a goal.
Okay.
I'm going to say Rashford, and I'm going to say Van der Beek.
Hang on a minute, that's 4?
I said 3. Rashford, oh yeah. All right, okay, it's 4-1 then.
All right, we'll change it then. Mark, what's the score going to be?
I said the same, 4-0. We aren't going to concede. We are going to keep a clean sheet. We are going to gain positivity from that. And I think my goal scorer is, I think Van der Beek. I think actually he'll get man of the match. And I said Rashford. This is more hope than what I think will happen, but I want him to get 2 goals. And then Greenwood or Martial for the final.
We've got a giddy 6-0 here. Let's have it. I'm going to go 4-0. I'm going to go 3-0 with a Nigolo hat-trick because why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Right.
I was going to end the stream, but this guy just wants me to keep arguing with him. Rashford, Martial and Greenwood are not natural in-box finishers. They are more wingers. I am not a troll, mate. What?
Sorry, mate. I'm going to have to disagree totally with you.
They're
I'm
not
gonna have to-
natural finishes. We could be here all day if I even
Yeah,
bothered
we
to.
could.
Like,
We
so I'm
could be
not-
here
not
all
even
day.
going to get into it. Right, everyone in the comments, make sure to like the video if you haven't already, because that's just a bit selfish if you haven't. Make sure to comment what your score will be, what the predicted team is, and let us know whether we're going to win or whether we're going to go out, and whether we're all going to be on Twitter and telling Ollie to resign. No, hopefully we do win. I think United will win this fairly comfortably. We should win it comfortably. And following this game, we will sign absolutely no one, and we'll all be really upset, and we'll have a fantastic time. Have I just ruined everyone's Tuesday?
No, we're going to win. We'll be fine.
We're going to win.
Make sure to tune in after the game. We'll be here on the review, and I can't remember who we've got on the review, but we do have a review coming for you on All for United. So make sure to keep it locked. And until next time, I will see you later. See you in a bit, everyone.
Thank you very much. Cheers.